Alright, hey grade 9s. I just wanted to do a quick video on the health issues related to the excretory system. And so basically we've looked at the structure of the excretory system, which organs are responsible for excreting various products. We've looked at those products in terms of what needs to be excreted, what is the difference between metabolic waste, what is the difference between solid waste, what is urea, uric acid, and why do we need to eliminate it. All of those things are reasons why we need to have the excretory system. We've spoken about the structure, the kidneys, the ureter, bladder, and urethra, and what steps happen. In our last video, we looked at the 4 steps: filtration, reabsorption, regulation, distribution, and excretion. And so now we're going to be just quickly finishing up this specific topic by looking at health issues related to the excretory system. So the first and quite common health issue that we are going to be looking at is kidney stones. And so what happens when we have kidney stones is basically inside of our process, inside of those small little tubules that are responsible for the filtration step, we can potentially form little salt crystals. So urea salts crystallize in these little groups. So there's bacteria that forms almost like this, what we call a nucleus. So it's like there's some bacteria, and attaching to that is these salt crystals. And what happens is we get more and more deposits of these salt crystals inside the kidneys, and that forms a stone. And that stone will get clogged up in the very, very small little tubules of the kidney that are responsible for making the urine. Okay? This is exceptionally painful. It needs to be passed out of the kidney. If these are quite large, they can sometimes get broken down using a laser, or if necessary, some people actually need surgery. But in most cases, they simply just say you need to allow the kidney stone to pass, which can be exceptionally painful, if you can imagine that. Kidney stones are formed when insufficient liquid is taken on, and so we need to make sure that we're taken in. We need to make sure that we drink sufficient amounts of water. And some people are unfortunately more susceptible to it, and so they can, because it's a hereditary component. But generally, we need to make sure that we are looking after our body, drinking enough water. And when I say water, I don't mean coffee or tea, I mean real water, H2O. Especially during strenuous activity, exercise, or hot weather, the intake of too much calcium can also lead to the formation of kidney stones. Okay, so that's the first health issue, is our kidney stones. The next one is renal failure, kidney failure. Now, kidney failure can be due to a number of reasons. Kidney failure is the loss of the function of the kidney, like producing urine, so it won't regulate and it won't produce urine properly. Sudden loss of the ability of the kidney to remove waste and concentrate urine without losing electrolytes. This can be caused by the intake of too many painkillers. By taking an overdose of painkillers, the kidneys can become inflamed and it can lead to kidney failure, or it can suffer from some kind of damage to the kidney. So some kind of impact or damage to the kidney can result in renal failure. People suffering from renal failure or kidney failure need to receive dialysis. So dialysis is a treatment where they basically remove your blood, run it through a machine that cleans and removes all of these waste products, and then pump it back into your body. It takes about 3 to 4 hours, and you have to do it every 2 or 3 days. You go to the hospital, you sit, they do your dialysis, and then you go home. So it's not fun. Some people have like a permanent dialysis kind of setup that cleans their blood, but it's not very efficient, and ultimately a person will need to have a kidney transplant. So if you get renal failure, it's necessary to have a transplant. A very, very common health issue, specifically in females, is a bladder infection, or what we call a urinary infection. A bladder infection is caused because bacteria from the anus moves into the urethra. It moves from the urethra into the bladder, and then that causes a bladder infection. So the bacteria move to the bladder and cause an infection. If not treated, the bacteria can move up the ureters and ultimately into the kidneys. And so that can be very dangerous, causing renal failure. Antibiotics are needed to treat this infection. Okay, so guys, those are the health issues related to our excretory system. If we have a look, there is our beautiful kidney over there, and that is the excretory system. I hope you guys are well, and next week we start nervous system. We're going to be looking at the eye and the ear. Cool grade 9s, I'll see you guys next week. Happy days. Bye guys.